Briningstool. When y'all are ready, fire away.
Did it feel good having Cade throwing you the ball today? Is there somebody else?
Yeah, Cade's a great quarterback, great player. We had a lot of reps together, so it was cool to be able to be back in our environment, be able to let him get out there and sling it. Also a good opportunity for him, just be able to, his time's next year, but be able to get out there and get a good feel for it. So, I was happy to be able to do that with him and share that experience together.
As you take this next step toward the NFL, what has been the most valuable piece of advice you've received from former Clemson tight ends who've gone pro?
Yeah, so a guy that I played with, Davis Allen, I've talked to him a lot. He's kind of done the same thing I've done, go to the Senior Bowl, go to the Combine, not finishing up the pro day. Just being able to lean on him, he's got a good head on his shoulders, so I trust the advice he gives. But he's been a really, influential part going throughout this process and gave me really good advice, so I really appreciate that.
How does it feel, as was mentioned as you came in, that you're the career leader of all tight ends in Clemson history? That's got to be kind of something big to hang your hat on as you lead Clemson.
Yeah, that was kind of my goal, come in here, make an impact, and kind of leave my own impact on the position. But I think the position's in a really good spot. They got a really good room going into next year. So I had my time. I did some pretty cool things, but I'm excited to see what they do next year.
Growing up, were you an NFL draft guy? Did you used to like look and see where other Clemson guys were going and pay attention at all to the mocks and what this guy thinks versus what that guy thinks? And it's hard to maybe block it out completely when you have friends and family members.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, especially this time of the year. Everybody's talking about the draft. To be able to be a guy that's a prospect for the draft, really cool, surreal moment for me. Honestly, it's a dream come true. But no, I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff. Never really have. I feel like it's all kind of personal opinions. But the decision makers, they definitely know, what I can do, and what the guys out here also can do. So, looking forward to it.
Were you pleased with what you did today? There was a couple miscues here and there, but as a whole, were you pretty pleased with what you did today?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good day. It was pretty cool, like I said earlier, just to be back in Clemson, be back home, be able to, get some reps in with Cade, be back with my former teammates, just, have a good day together. So it was a lot of fun. I thought everybody did really well, and I really enjoyed it.
What's kind of been your pitch to teams if they're asking you, like, why should we draft you? What's kind of your go-to response for that?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, I'm a competitor. I'm going to compete in everything that I do. Secondly, I'm a winner. Somebody that, wants to do everything in a winning aspect. That's not just on the field, that's off the field as well. And I think thirdly, I'm an elite pass catcher. Somebody that can, stretch the field vertically, catch the ball pretty well, and, make plays with all my hand.
Tight end position.
The interviews you've had with pro teams, do they see you as an on-the-line tight end, kind of a general tight end, or kind of a hybrid where you can also work on the slot side?
Yeah, I got areas of my game I can definitely improve on, but I think, teams are looking to use me in a multitude of ways, just be able to, find ways for me to create separation, get open, but also knowing that I got to be my face in the fan and be able to, make an impact in the run game, being a tight end at that level. Defensive ends are really good players in that league, so just being able to have that willingness, have that toughness, have that mindset, be able to go in there and mix it up in the run game and be an impact in there too. So I would say both.
With a tight end position being featured so heavy in a lot of NFL offenses, this is one particular tight end that you look at to pattern your game after?
Yeah, anytime I'm watching football, I'm looking at the tight end. I'm just trying to get a feel for what he's doing to create separation or what he's doing in the run game. But I think my favorite tight end to watch out there is probably George Kittle. He's probably one of the best tight ends of all time. But just the physicality, his approach in the run game, it's I think the best in the NFL. Somebody that's dominates the guy across from him consistently, and then he also just has fun with it. You can see the joy that he has for the game, the love he has, and passion he has. And I think that's a real testament to me being a young guy coming into the NFL, somebody I can look up to.
Jake, you talked about how long this process has been, right? You've had the Senior Bowl, you've had the Combine, you had the Pro Day. I'm sure you've had a lot of conversations with a lot of scouts, got a lot of different advice. How have you approached the last couple of months, just from a meeting perspective in terms of the different scouts and the advice that you've got along the way?
Yeah, it is a long process. It's a stressful process, but I think I got the right people around me. I got a good support system. I got a lot of good friends that have been through this process, so it's been able to lean on them, lean on their advice, lean on what they told me, and kind of just use their experiences and kind of just see what I can learn from them, and then have my own experience. I was blessed enough to go to the Combine, blessed to go to the Senior Bowl. Both those are really good experiences for me. I thought I did a good job. So just being able to have those moments. Something I think about as a kid, like I said earlier. But I think it's just been super cool to have guys that I'm super close with, and we can all share the same experience. So it's been fun.
Are there any teams that have been talking to you more than others out of everybody you've met with so far?
Yeah, I've met with quite a few teams.
Anyone else for Jake?
Tight end seems to be one of those positions that has one of the steepest learning curves in the NFL. What have you seen about that, and do you think there's a reason for that adjustment process?
Yeah, it was the same steep learning curve they talked about when I came from high school to college. And I think the biggest thing that I did was just have the right mindset, be able to come in, know there's guys that are already on the roster, a veteran guy that's made a lot of plays in the NFL, just be able to learn from him, see what he's done, to be able to put himself in that position, and then kind of put my own twist on it, put it in my own way, and be able to create a good career for myself. But I think it's a really tough position to play. You're asked to do a lot, and I think that's one of the coolest things about being a tight end, being able to make an impact in both the run and the pass game, and also have the same amount of knowledge as the quarterback has. So I think it's a very unique position. I don't think it gets enough credit for the difficulty of the position, but no, I enjoy playing tight end, and I'm looking forward to it.
And you said you've dreamed about this for a long time. What's it like to finally be here living out this dream?
It's kind of crazy. I was sitting over there listening to Barrett. He talks about he feels old. It kind of feels that way. Just coming back around Clemson, being around my former teammates. But no, I'm still a young guy, young man. Got a lot of learning to do, especially in the next level. But just, it's surreal for me. It's just something I've dreamed about ever since I picked up a football. Just being in this position, it's a blessing. But I also know what comes with that blessing. So just being able to, go to work every single day, be who I am, and let God take care of the rest.
Has the draft process kind of been what you kind of expected so far, or has there been any kind of surprises on the way that kind of shocked you or made you surprised?
Yeah, it's pretty much is what it is. Everybody has their own experiences with it, but as far as the process goes, it's been pretty fun. I've enjoyed it.
Is there one particular team offense you think you'll fit perfectly in?
I think I can fit into a bunch of different offenses. I think, like I said earlier, I'm an elite pass catcher, somebody that can stretch the field, make plays with the ball. So I think anybody that's looking for a tight end that can do that, I'm your guy.
Barrett was saying he's happy he's never gonna have to run a 40 again. Like, how many 40-yard dashes do you guys practice?
Yeah, me and Barry, we've actually been training together out in California. So we've been out there since the beginning of the new year. So we've been out there about 3 months. We've ran a ton of 40s, done speed work, but now it's time to go play football. This is what we do. I'm looking forward to this next step in the journey.
You mentioned you kind of leaned on Davis Allen for advice on how it's like at the next level as far as tight ends. Have any other former Clemson tight ends reached out to you in the last few months, just kind of getting your mind ready, just let you know what to expect in the future?
Yeah, even as I was, finished up my career at Clemson, Dwayne had reached out to me, Jordan had reached out to me. So just, elite players at the position, guys that have really good careers here, and just, some of the best that's ever came through here. So I think, it's been really cool to be a part of that, be a part of that conversation, and kind of just, lean on those guys for advice. They've been where I want to go, where I am going. So I think it's just been super cool to be able to share those experiences, and ultimately, share the same Clemson family together. So they've all been, instrumental in my development and done a really good job helping me out.
Marcus Tate was saying he was asked what spirit animal he was at the combine. Do you get any questions?
I would say the weirdest question I got would be, are you an apple or an orange? So it's just, just personality questions, trying to figure out, how you feel about yourself. Kind of just a cool way to figure out your personality. So
I guess, are you an apple or an orange?
I said I was an apple. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like more people like apples. I feel like, sometimes you just gotta, the good stuff's on the inside, so you gotta be able to get in there and find out.
Jake, do you have an idea of the range, like when you talk to teams, do you have an idea of the range that you might hear your name called?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go in the middle rounds. That's pretty much what I've heard, 3rd, 5th round. So, God's gonna lead me in the right direction, put me in a good situation. I fully believe that.
Anybody else for Jake? All right, Jake. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you
Thanks so
guys.
much for making time for us.